Satnam. Blessings to you all as we begin this new year 2012. Here at Golden Bridge in Los Angeles, joined with Tej Kaur, Harijiwan Singh, Guru Shabad, and myself, the senior teachers here, the old-timers you might say, we'll be presenting Level 2 Authentic Relationships, January 31st to February 5th. I started meditating a lot. We taught this before, and it's probably my most favorite one, because to me relationships are everything. Our relationship to God, our relationship to ourselves, and then our relationship to others. We need all three, otherwise we're not authentic. I wanted to impart a story that came so close and stays in my heart to perhaps give you an idea of authentic relationships. Sometimes people don't even know that we're having the experience of the authenticity when we're with others. The story is a story, I think, from Italy. The parents had a child, and they put the child to bed in a crib in another bedroom away from their living room. Every night the baby would cry and cry. It didn't want the separation, or it wanted to be lullabied to sleep or rocked to sleep. But they would just put the baby in the crib, and then they would go into the living room and turn the TV loud enough so that they could watch the TV, and it would drown the cries of this little child. They weren't bad people at all. They just were not as sensitive as maybe one would wish parents would be with a child. But there was a lady next door, and the walls were very thin. It was in an apartment building, and she would hear every night the cries of the child. And she needed to do something authentically in relationship to God, to herself, and to others. But she was sensitive to know that if she would knock on the door and point a finger at the parents and maybe blame them or warn them, that the receptivity from them in relationship to this crying baby would not be so good. So it came to her, and this is what she did. Every night, as the baby was crying and crying, she loved to sing, and she sang lullabies to this child, and the child could hear through the thin walls, and the child was soothed, and the child went to sleep from her song. That's authentic. That's authentic relationships. Perhaps when the child grows up, she'll never know or even remember how she fell asleep on those nights alone. Authenticity is so very, very real that it pierces through the heart and is remembered forever in relationship to others. I pray that you join us in the 60-hour course so that as we move into the Aquarian age, we can identify authenticity, we can experience authenticity, and then we can live authenticity. Please join us. We will have so much fun. We eat together, we share time together, we do sadhana together, and talk about all the new friends, the authentic relationships that will build from just the gathering when we come together. So January 31st to the 5th of February, you don't need to have taken Level 1. You can come to the immersion, whoever you are and wherever you're coming from. God bless you. I'll see you here in Satnam.
Satnam, I'm Harijiwan, and I want to invite you to the Level 2 Relationship course at Golden Bridge here in Hollywood, California, January 31st, 2012 to February 5th, 2012. It's an exciting course. We're looking forward to having you join us. Think like this. Each breath I take has a reaction that moves inside me. It kind of moves my whole psyche. And then I exhale the breath out. And as I exhale, it sends an image of where my consciousness is. And then the breath comes in again. And that incoming breath has a magnetic correlation to what I exhaled out. So once I understand how I'm relating to that inhale, how I'm relating to that exhale, I start to then tune into how I'm relating to everything. And this course is a very in-depth exploration of that kind of key, core, essential relationship, which then defines how the environments respond to me, how people respond to me, how my mind responds to me, how the flow of my spirit responds to me, and how my body integrates and synchronizes that whole kind of cosmic dance. This is a very interesting course because in order for me to change the image of consciousness that I'm exhaling into the planetary matrix, I have to have some image to relate to. And what am I using my relationships for? What am I using my relationship to relate to? Is the person, environment, situation I'm relating to an opportunity to have a bigger experience of my anger, my depression, my anxiety, or my fulfillment, my grace, my ease, my elevation, my divine infinite sense? This is what we want to map out, explore, and expand upon so that you have a very intuitive, experiential knowing of how reality comes in, how you shape, form reality, and how you interact with this whole big cosmic magnetic dance called life. So please join us, and it should be very interesting as the 2012 years upon us, and major earth changes and major changes in the landscape of my psyche. Because what this whole kind of 2012 age of Aquarius time is the great cosmic breath from galactic center has changed. The inhale is changed, and the exhale is changed, and the whole cosmic zodiac has changed from a 2,000-year Piscean experience to the beginning of a 2,000-year Aquarian experience, and I need to correlate, link up with that change. Because otherwise my consciousness is a gap between a Piscean mode of relating and an Aquarian mode of relating. And in order for me to find happiness and harmony, I have to know what's different. And I have to know what tools, what technology to use to navigate this very, very different energetic era. And this is what Kundalini Yoga is all about. Kundalini Yoga is the technology whereby I can have an experiential understanding of what I'm taking in, how I'm assembling, processing, relating to that, and how I then send that magnetic thought form, that image, my consciousness, into the great collective consciousness. So please join us for this very exciting course. Sat Nam.
Sat Nam, and welcome to Golden Bridge, Los Angeles. We're going to be doing a really exciting course, and I want to talk to you about it. My name is Tage, and it's actually tonight is New Year's Eve. Can you believe it? Ending 2011, going into 2012, a whole new era, time and space, a whole new era of creativity. We're very excited we'll be doing this Authentic Relationships course. I'm really excited about it because one of the things I hear people talk about all the time is, I'm not happy in my relationships, I'm not getting along with my kids, my husband and my wife are doing not so good with me, I don't know what's going on. It's the issue where people suffer so much. But really it's a reflection of what's going on in us. Everything around us is a reflection of what we're going through internally. And relationships are such an amazing thing that help us see ourselves. We don't see ourselves otherwise. The reflection in the relationships is really a measure of how we're feeling and how we're healing and how we're growing and how we're growing up. So in this course, what I like about it is you heal. You heal your internal self-concept, you heal your relationship to God, and then you can bring all that healing into your relationships and you can feel better here on the earth. It's much more fun when we're having fun relationships. It's a much better trip here on the earth. So let's get together and just make it more fun here for all of us. Hope you can join us January 31st through the February 5th, sorry. And let's have fun together. Satnam.